Now, although the okapi does have those zebra hind legs, it's actually going to be a relative of the giraffe. Who would have guessed that? Westerners did not discover this until 1901. Alright, now we are approaching a watering hole coming up on the left-hand side. Rumor has it that the black rhino does like to gather here, so hopefully we can spot a rhino today. Now the black rhino can run at 35 miles. There he is, way off back there. Can everybody see it on the left-hand side? And the black rhino can charge at 35 miles per hour, and a group of them is collectively known as a crash. Now this is probably because they have terrible eyesight, and well, you can figure out the rest. Now unfortunately there are going to be less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today, as they are poached for their horns made out of keratin. Now keratin actually makes up our hair and fingernails, so I don't see the big deal. Now we will be leaving the forest and heading into the Sapi River. Now can you guess what animals we might spot in the river?
Crocodile.
Hippo? I heard. You're right. Now does anybody by chance know what sound a hippo makes? No? Me either. However, hopefully we can get close enough and we can all find out. Now the hippos will typically stay submerged as they can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time, which is pretty amazing. Do you see one? Okay. I do have to ask that everybody please remain seated for me. Thank you. Now, no worries, there's one on the left-hand side.
Oh, there's one.
Now hippos are excellent swimmers, however they will reach the bottom if they can reach it, and then they will walk on the bottom. Excuse me. Now you may also notice these gray birds on the island next to them. These are in fact the pink-backed flamingos. Now Monique, why on earth are they called pink-backed flamingos if they are gray? Well, they are actually do turn pink during mating season. So I'm going to guess that's not mating season. Alright, now as we make our way just around this corner, I do ask that everybody please remain seated because we will be entering crocodile territory.
Yes.
Now here's another hippo just on the left hand side. Now these guys can get to 150 pounds of brass a day. Now just on the left hand side we have the Nile crocodile. Did you like that rhyme? I do ask that everybody please remain seated for me. Thank you. The crocodile can run at 10 miles per hour on land and has enough force in their jaw to crush bones. Now they actually can remain underwater for 2 hours if they are active. I'm not too sure the last time they ate, so we should probably head into the savannah. Now as we are heading into the savannah, we will be entering a completely different ecosystem with a completely different set of animals.
Lion.
But while we are on the topic of different things, we will be passing by the baobab tree momentarily. Now the baobab tree is also known as the upside down tree. You can see why, as it does look like it has roots at the top but not the bottom. And this tree can go leafless up to 9 months out of the year. Alright, now we are officially into the savannah, and I'm going to introduce you to my favorite view in the entire reserve, as I'm sure you can see why. Now some of you may be able to see those wildebeest hiding out in the bush that just came out, just in time for us.
Don't sir.
Now just on the right hand side, we will be passing by the white bearded wildebeest. Now these guys get their name from the Afrikaans language, which literally means a wild beast. Now hopefully we can see why as we make our way around the corner, as it does look like they have that white beard on their face. So hopefully we can get a much better view. I do need everybody seated for me, please. Thank you. Now the savannah is going to be home to some of our more popular and famous animals, such as the giraffe and the African elephant. This is the Africa that we are working so desperately hard to preserve. The landscape here is created entirely by the animals who reside here. Elephants act as bulldozers, knocking down the trees. Giraffes are like pruning shears, eating the undersides of the trees to allow more light to shine through. Gazelle mow down the grass, and the antelope trim up the edges. In a balanced system, there is more than enough food for everyone. On the right might be a little bit better view of the wildebeest. But coming up on the left, we do have the Ankole cattle. With somebody calling the wildebeest over here, don't call them over here. They look like a pack of wolves. Now just on the left hand side, we do have the Ankole cattle. Now the Ankole cattle is going to be the only domesticated animal here on this reserve. Now these giant horns can get to 5 to 6 feet in length. Now they do look very heavy, but they're actually going to be light. They are a semi-hollow structure which allows for the blood vessels to get way up top to keep the cattle cool.
Big horns.
Now just in the distance on the left, you may see the Patterson's eland, but we'll get around the corner and he'll be on your right hand side and you guys can get a much better view.
Yeah. Car. Hope my phone doesn't run out. Hope my phone doesn't